Hey, it's Trisha, Triumph with Trisha here. Good morning, afternoon, evening, good night. How you doing? Hope this message finds you well. So we're on day 3 still. I did a vision video, and this one is the unconditional dreams and desires, right? So what are we talking about? Unconditional. We've heard the term unconditional love. We've more than likely experienced it with a loved one, a family, a parent, something along those lines for the most part. But here we're talking about emotions and how they're such a truly a powerful, they're such a motivator and such a powerful motivator. Ultimately, I would say people, we just want to feel good, right? So let's look at this for a moment. The premise of everything that you want is actually because you believe that if you have it, if you experience it, or if you achieve it, that you'll feel the way you want. That's either good or at least better than you were feeling before. I never gave this, what I'm saying to you, thought like that before because I just didn't, right? So what is that? What is an example of that? Let's see. We often put things ahead of what we want. I want to feel good, but I need to do this. This has to happen like this. This needs to be like this. That needs to go that way. This needs to go this way. But that's not actually so. So something I would use as an example, I think is relatable to many people, is weight loss is a very common one. I've had 3 children. Although they're teenagers now, I do remember actively working on myself to get back to pre-prego me. And if you are consumed with getting back to that number, something to also understand is, well, you've had a whole human, and even though you may get to that number, everything redistributes differently, right? So I don't know that I was consumed, but maybe I was. I definitely had to focus on, I'm going to get these calories in. I was a nursing mother, so on and so forth. You have to keep up your nutrition and your energy to, take care of your baby. You're feeding them, all these other things. However, being my best me and healthiest me was at the top of the list, but definitely getting back to where I was before I had babies. Now, I had, the whole 40 weeks, so I set a goal for myself of by the time an additional 40 weeks post baby, I should be back to myself. I did accomplish it. Every mom doesn't necessarily get there in the same time frame or what have you, and that's totally fine. It's okay to take the pressure off of yourself. We shouldn't actually put that kind of pressure on ourselves. We've had a whole human and all that, but celebrate yourself, right? That's literally a conversation for another time. Where am I going? I remember thinking I'll be good when I just these last 10, 15 pounds. I've heard so many women, whether it's post-baby or just they're working on their fitness and weight loss, I've heard many people say this, I just want to drop 20 pounds and I'll be good. But in the meantime and on that journey, they're miserable. Sometimes you're hungry because you're trying to hit these certain calories and hungry and miserable. Hangry, I gotta tell you, Snickers has been a lifesaver at certain times. If hangry has a face, my face could have been there some time ago, right? That's not how I live now. And it's not better for us, right? I could have experienced more joy during the process getting to my goal, because we know what that feels like. So there's a thing that happens when you understand you can choose to have joy. You can choose to be grateful. You can choose to leave that conversation that is just, I don't know, it's inappropriate, it's just gross, but you'd rather not be a part of it. You can choose to leave, right? You can focus on the positive. You can choose to live differently. I've done that when there's maybe people that have been in your environment, and this is not a positive environment. You can learn how to navigate differently because you don't need to spend a whole lot more time there unless you actually have to be around person or people for a particular reason. You have have the ability to choose. Okay, so this also takes practice. I'm not saying it's a, blink and it's all just done. It takes practice. It's active work, right? But you don't need to have a condition first before you can feel good about something. You don't have to have an experience, this thing that has to happen, and then I'll be good. That's the condition. You're putting the condition ahead. I actually feel like majority of people do this a lot in some area and without realizing it, right? And it's so interesting because you can also, if you're going to be on this journey anyway, you can enjoy it and you can have fun, right? And it can just be light. It doesn't have to be heavy and miserable. You're going to be on that journey. Why not enjoy it, right? Like you literally have that choice. So I have this example here. This is a pretty light conversation. Let's look at this, experiencing this thing. You're in a room. I enter the room. I have a plate and I have limes. This is an example from a mentor. Limes. And you can smell them because they're limes, right? They're aromatic. So I walk past you and you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely limes. I go over to the table. I cut them. I slice them into wedges, right? Now you can, because they're juicy, right? So you can really like, oh yeah, it's the room. The room is being filled up with the scent of these limes. Now I offer you a piece, and you take a wedge. And you're putting it in your mouth, right? Do you feel the tanginess and the, all that limes are? Did you feel it? What are you doing right now? Most people, when this example is being discussed, they have a similar reaction. They're like, yeah, if it's super sour or tangy, just like maybe with lemons too. Excuse me, but why are you feeling that? Did you just do what we were talking about? Did you experience something because you were thinking about it? Because you don't have a lime. Where's the lime? Where's the lime? Where is it? What actually happened? Your brain doesn't really know the difference. It actually doesn't know the difference. So for your brain, you are eating a lime, right? Or taking a bite out of a lime. And so it is working to tell your glands to produce more saliva to break down the acid and the lime, right? So that's you're feeling or tasting or getting the sensations of all that. But there's no lime. It's just imagined, right? So it's like a maybe funny or quirky experience, sensation that happened because of thoughts, right? Not because of actually having a lime. Do you get what I'm saying? Is it starting to become more, oh, I see where she's going? Yeah, so, I mean, I had another example, like if you got a phone call from your, like, favorite person and you guys haven't spoken and they're calling with all this news and it's just great news and they're super excited and you can feel the energy and they're bursting with excitement. It's all this and now you're like, hey, okay, tell me. And you're feeling all the things and you're getting all the tingles and you're feeling the feelings, except the thing that they're talking about it hasn't happened to you. This is a phone call, except that maybe you were just chuckling at what I was saying as I'm being excited and all that. Oop, sorry. But nothing was happening. It's just in here, right? It's sensations and what you're thinking. And that's totally fine. That's how that works. That is how that works. So the challenge is to identify the feelings that you want and practice feeling them. Because now you know that you can do it with the example of the lime. I think that's a better example than the second one. But either way, you have an example, right? There's no reason why you have to wait to get the degree before you feel proud of yourself, to lose the last 10 pounds before you're proud of your accomplishments or enjoy fitness or what. There's no reason to wait. There just isn't. So you can experience joy now, and that's something for you to understand. And it does take practice. If you're not already doing that in your life, it does take practice. And it's a good thing. You are on the right you're on the right path, right? But understanding that you do not have to wait, and we should not be waiting, just delaying all this, just only until this happens. No, stop the waiting, enjoy the ride right now. That is what that challenge is. I have another little assignment that is in the vision video, but I honestly share these things. It was light bulbs for me because I definitely recognized, and other people that I know in conversations, right? Like I said, losing some baby pounds is definitely a thing. I'll do this, I'll do that. When this happens, then I'll do such and such. After blah, 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 this, that. Put yourself on the list, put yourself at the top of the list, okay? You can choose to have joy and enjoy all of the things right now. No more waiting. I hope this blesses you. I hope you truly find this content useful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will speak with you soon.